You're a big, handsome, muscular guy, and yet you have hobbies, the hobbies of a nerd.
Yes.
You do. This is something that you, I'm told, are very involved with, and this is, you're painting.
Okay. A very small helmet, obviously.
Tiny little helmet, and this is the full figure.
And that is a body attached
to the helmet. You painted this.
I did.
Henry Cavill just dropped a bombshell that's shaking Amazon to its core. The Man of Steel himself is ready to walk away from a multi-million-dollar deal over Warhammer's future. What could be so important that Cavill's willing to risk it all? Amazon thought they could push Cavill around, but they picked the wrong nerd to mess with. The actor's inside knowledge of Warhammer lore is proving to be kryptonite to the tech giant's plans. This isn't just about a TV show anymore. It's a battle for the soul of a beloved franchise. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Amazon's grand plan for Warhammer has finally come to light, and it's causing a massive uproar in the fan community. The tech giant's vision for a sprawling Warhammer cinematic universe sounds ambitious on paper, but there's a catch that's infuriating die-hard fans. Amazon's not just adapting the beloved franchise, they're planning to give it a complete makeover that threatens to destroy everything fans love about the grim dark world. Insiders have spilled the beans on Amazon's shocking demands for the Warhammer adaptation, and it's worse than anyone could have imagined. The corporate behemoth is pushing for a complete overhaul of the franchise's core elements, all in the name of diversity and inclusion. But this isn't just about adding a few new characters or expanding the universe. Amazon's meddling goes far beyond that, striking at the very heart of Warhammer's identity. One of the most controversial changes Amazon is demanding is the introduction of female space marines and female custodians. For those not in the know, this is a massive deviation from established Warhammer lore. It's not just a minor tweak, it's a fundamental alteration that threatens to unravel the entire fabric of the Warhammer universe.
Used to be, this is something, it's called Warhammer, right?
Warhammer, yes.
It's been around for a long time?
It's been around since the 80s.
Since the 80s, and you picked up on it when and how?
And then really got into it early 90s, went to boarding school, was already unpopular. Look, I love it, but I get very frustrated with it at times.
Why?
Because you want to be good at it, right? And
what do you mean good at it?
Painting, for example.
Oh, okay.
And
fans are up in arms, and for good reason. This isn't about representation. It's about respecting the intricate world building that has made Warhammer a cultural phenomenon. But Amazon's interference doesn't stop there. The company's inclusion policy is a ticking time bomb for the Warhammer adaptation. Sources reveal that production teams are being forced to meet strict diversity quotas, with targets set to rise even higher in the coming years. By 2024, Amazon wants at least 50% of key leadership positions to be filled by women and underrepresented individuals. While diversity in storytelling can be valuable, fans argue that forcing these quotas onto an established universe is a recipe for disaster. The backlash from the Warhammer community has been swift and brutal. Social media is ablaze with angry fans vowing to boycott any Amazon-produced Warhammer content. The outrage isn't just coming from a vocal minority. It's a tidal wave of disappointment and frustration from across the fandom. Fans are rallying around the cry to keep Warhammer true to its roots, demanding that the franchise maintain its gritty, unfiltered essence rather than being sanitized for a mainstream audience. Amazon's multi-million-dollar investment in Warhammer is now hanging by a thread. The tech giant seems to have grossly underestimated the passion and dedication of the Warhammer fanbase. These aren't casual viewers who will accept any adaptation. They're deeply invested in the lore and expect it to be treated with respect. The growing backlash threatens to turn Amazon's dream of a Warhammer cinematic universe into a costly nightmare. As the controversy reaches a fever pitch, all eyes are turning to one man, Henry Cavill.
Geekiest thing would have to be my Warhammer stuff.
We're talking Games Workshop, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah. It's that took me a while to kind of confess to. Yeah, and I love it, and I've that's the stuff I've done in as far as hobby stuff, the stuff which my escapism is concerned, all the reading I do outside of work. Yeah, and I've been involved in the Warhammer world for
40,000 years.
40,000 years. Oh, well, longer, depending how you look at it.
The Hollywood star and well-known Warhammer enthusiast is now at the center of this storm. Fans are desperately hoping that Cavill will step up and fight for the soul of Warhammer. With his star power and genuine love for the franchise, Cavill might be the only one who can stand up to Amazon's corporate machine and protect the integrity of the Warhammer universe. Henry Cavill isn't just playing a hero on screen anymore. Behind closed doors, he's waging a war that could make or break the future of Warhammer. Insiders reveal Cavill's shocking ultimatum to Amazon executives, and it sent tremors through Hollywood's power players. What's he willing to risk for the franchise he loves? The answer might surprise you. Cavill's connection to Warhammer isn't just skin deep. This isn't some celebrity dabbling in nerd culture for clout. No, Cavill is the real deal. He's not just a fan. He's a die-hard enthusiast who spends his precious free time diving into the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. We're talking about a man who celebrates Father's Day by proudly showcasing his dedication to Warhammer lore and community on Instagram. That's not just passion, that's true love. But now, that love is being put to the test. As executive producer on Amazon's Warhammer project, Cavill isn't just a pretty face for the cameras. He's positioned himself as the Kevin Feige of the Warhammer universe. And let me tell you, he's taking that role dead seriously. Sources close to the production have revealed that Cavill's frustration with Amazon's demands has been building for months. It's not just creative differences, it's a full-blown battle for the soul of Warhammer. And Cavill? He's not backing down. In closed-door meetings that have left Amazon executives stunned, Cavill has reportedly unleashed passionate defenses of Warhammer's core essence. He's not interested in a sanitized version that appeals to focus groups. No, Cavill wants the real deal. The dark, gritty, complex universe that fans have loved for decades. One insider, speaking on condition of anonymity, described the scene. It's like watching David take on Goliath. Cavill comes into these meetings armed with an encyclopedic knowledge of Warhammer lore. He's not just disagreeing with Amazon. He's schooling them on what makes Warhammer great. But here's where things get really interesting. Cavill isn't just talking the talk. He's walking the walk, and he's ready to walk right out the door if Amazon doesn't listen. That's right, folks. Henry Cavill, Hollywood A-lister and fanboy extraordinaire, is reportedly ready to walk away from a multi-million-dollar deal if Amazon doesn't respect the franchise. Let that sink in for a moment. In an industry where money talks and principles often take a back seat, Cavill is putting it all on the line. He's not just risking a paycheck. He's risking his reputation and future opportunities in Hollywood. That's the kind of move that sends shockwaves through Tinseltown. And shockwaves it has sent. Hollywood insiders are buzzing about Cavill's stand. Some are calling it career suicide. Others are hailing him as a hero for artistic integrity. But everyone agrees on one thing. This is unprecedented. So what's next in this high-stakes showdown? Amazon is facing a crucial decision. Do they cave to Cavill's demands and risk compromising their vision for a broader audience? Or do they stand firm and potentially lose the star power and fan credibility that Cavill brings to the project? The clock is ticking, and Amazon's Warhammer dreams are crumbling faster than a Necron tomb world. The tech giant's grand plans for dominating the grimdark universe are unraveling at an alarming rate. With a make-or-break deadline looming on the horizon, Amazon executives are sweating bullets. Will they bend the knee to Cavill and Games Workshop, or watch their billion-dollar investment go up in flames? December 2024. That's the date circled in red on every Amazon exec's calendar. It's not just any deadline. It's the day that could spell disaster for the tech giant's ambitious Warhammer cinematic universe. If they can't strike a deal with both Henry Cavill and Games Workshop by then, the whole house of cards comes tumbling down. We're talking about billions of dollars potentially flushed down the drain, with not a single show or movie making it past the development stage. Behind the scenes, it's pure chaos. Amazon bigwigs are scrambling for solutions, holding emergency meetings, and probably popping antacids like they're going out of style. The pressure is mounting, and insiders reveal that the tech giant is feeling the heat. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place, with Cavill on one side and Games Workshop on the other. But here's where it gets really juicy. Games Workshop, the puppet master behind the Warhammer Empire, isn't playing nice. They've got a reputation for keeping an iron grip on their lore and narratives. And guess what? They're not too keen on Amazon's grand plans for diversity quotas and inclusion policies. It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and Amazon is the one getting hammered. The fallout from this clash of titans is already spreading. Amazon's reputation is taking hit after hit as the Warhammer drama unfolds. Fans are up in arms, ready to abandon ship if their beloved franchise gets watered down. It's a PR nightmare, and Amazon's damage control team is working overtime. But the real kicker? Henry Cavill, the man who was supposed to be their golden ticket, is now holding all the cards. Without him, Amazon risks losing the one thread of credibility they have with the rabid Warhammer fanbase. It's like trying to sail a ship without a captain. You're just asking for disaster. So what's a multi-billion-dollar corporation to do? Well, whispers from the inside suggest that Amazon might be considering the unthinkable, scrapping their woke demands to keep Cavill on board. It's a move that would send shockwaves through Hollywood. The mighty Amazon, bowing to the will of one actor and a bunch of tabletop gaming enthusiasts? It's almost too good to be true, but don't start celebrating just yet, Warhammer fans. This battle for the future of the grimdark universe is far from over. Amazon's got deep pockets and a stubborn streak a mile wide. They're not going to roll over without a fight. And with billions on the line, you can bet they've got a few tricks up their sleeve. The fans have spoken, and their message is crystal clear. Warhammer isn't just another franchise to be chewed up and spit out by Hollywood's machine. They're rallying behind Henry Cavill like never before, ready to see the whole project go up in flames rather than watch it become a soulless cash grab. It's a battle cry that's echoing through the halls of Amazon, and you can bet those suits are sweating bullets right now. But here's the real kicker. This isn't just about Warhammer anymore. It's about every beloved franchise that's been gutted and repackaged for maximum profit. Cavill's stand against the corporate giants has ignited a fire in fans everywhere. They're sick and tired of seeing their favorite worlds twisted into unrecognizable messes, and they're not going to take it lying down anymore. The big question now is, will Amazon blink first, or are they about to learn a very expensive lesson? One thing's for sure, the entire entertainment industry is watching this showdown with bated breath. Because if Cavill and the fans win this one, it could change the game for good. Hollywood, consider yourself on notice.